Hello and a huge welcome to this video. I'm Scorpion from How To Do, and in this video we will be learning how to make a stealth kill system or takedown system like we see in Sniper Elite 4 or Hitman and all those cool games. So in the previous videos we made this, so we made a sniper scope effect like Sniper Elite 4. We also made a crouching system kind of like this, so we can move around and crouch. And then we also made a cover system, but that was in another project, so I cannot show you right now. But the links to all of these will be in the description box below, so you make sure you see them. And in this video we will make a takedown system. So when we come from behind this enemy and press some button, like press a button like E or takedown button, any button, then he will take him down like the stealth method kind of thing. So let's get started. Now the first thing that you will be needing is the animations. So I already have two of them, so the link to these animations will be in the description box below, so you can download these two animations. One is for the enemy and one is from the player. So this is for the enemy, like he's standing and then he looks behind and then he's like killed, and it looks stupid right here, but when both of the animations are merged they will look really cool. And this one is for the player, so he punches on his face and then like that, and he throws him and kills him, right? Both of them look stupid right now, but rest assured they will look really cool in the end. So one thing that I have to do is I have to set up this enemy. Alright, so how I will do that is by first adding a name enemy, and then what I have to do is I have to add a animator controller in there, animator controller. So let's just go ahead and say right click, create an animator controller. It should be somewhere over here. I will call it enemy, not animate, enemy. There we go. And then select the enemy and drag and drop the enemy animator controller in there. Cool. So now open up the enemy controller, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and first drag in the idle animation that looks something like this, maybe. So he's just looking around, just standing there. And these are the animations that we just downloaded in the previous videos from mixmo.com. so if you don't know how to download or rig your your player inside of Mixmo and find all of these cool animations, make sure you see my video. The link will be in the description box below. Cool. So that will do the rifle idle, and then when we kill him, so we want him to do the enemy one. So this is EX enemy behind one, so let's drag and drop the EX enemy. So this is enemy and this is P for player. So let's just go ahead and make a transition from here to there, from here to enemy. And then as you can see, when we are playing the game, or let's just drag in the enemy in here to see if it's working or not. So it looks really weird right now because I have all of these LODs in here, so I'm gonna delete these. Okay, there we go. Cool. Now let's see. So he is standing and then he looks behind and then he is dead. Alright, kind of like that. So now we have to transition between this and that. So how we do that is by adding a condition. Now in order to add a condition, and then we have to say add trigger, and we will call this killed. And when this trigger is just triggered, he's gonna just die. So killed and then die. Alright, and we're gonna come back, we're gonna come and go to the Carl, say animator, and I already have made an animator for him. So idle, idle, crouch, walk, crouch, idle, idle, scope, walk, run, and all that good stuff. So if you haven't seen the previous video, make sure you see that. Okay, so when we are here, we're gonna go ahead and drag in the player animation, so P for player, and go ahead and do the same thing. So add a trigger, and this will be called takedown. So when this happens, so when takedown, he's gonna just go ahead and do that animation. So from idle, from walk, from run, from crouch walk, and from crouch idle, and just go ahead and simply say takedown. So as you can see, there is no no condition for here, just it will just happen no matter what. Not cover, takedown, has exit time false. Make sure you do that, otherwise you will get a really bad result. So make sure you do that. Takedown, bam, and then again takedown, bam. There we go. Cool. So now I'm gonna just simply test this out. So play the game and see if it's working or not. So if I say okay, of course we will have to make a transition from this guy to the idol. So yeah, he's gonna do that animation and then he's gonna come back to the idol. Cool. So I'm gonna come back to the animator and it's already there. Okay, so make sure you make a transition from this stealth kill thing to the idle and make sure the has exit time is true and there is no condition needed. So when the whole animation is completed, he's gonna come back to the idle. Cool. Save this and I'm gonna do that and select the enemy, go to animator and do that, save it. And now we have to control these two animations through the code. So I'm gonna go to the player. So first thing what we need to do is we need to detect whether the player is behind the enemy or not. So we're gonna go to the enemy and drag it out here, and in there we're gonna go ahead and make a 3D game object cube. Alright, and this cube will be the area of the kill zone. Like if the player is in this area, then he will be able to kill the enemy. Alright, that's close enough. So I'm gonna remove the mesh renderer and mesh filterer so that we do not have to see this cube sticking out of his butt. But yeah, and we don't want the player to collide with this, so also we're gonna set it to trigger. So it's only there and he's not gonna collide with anything, but it's just gonna detect whether someone is in here or not. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the enemy, add component and say FSM. So if you don't have FSM or Playmaker, then you can see my previous videos, or the link will be in the description box below, that how to download Playmaker and then how to import it inside of Unity and how to use it. And it's really simple, really cool thing, and you don't have to write any code. It will be really simple for you to use Playmaker instead of writing long codes. So in here we're gonna go ahead and say trigger event, which means whenever something enters in the trigger or exits. And as you can see, there is an error right away. Game object requires rigid body and collider. So we don't have it right now because the collider and the the box collider is inside over here. So we're gonna go ahead and say specify the game object and drag and drop the cube in there, and it will not have any errors now. All right, so whenever something enters inside of this cube, that is this trigger over here, then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and check whether the collider tag is player. So set that to player. So go to your player and make sure your Carl, which is my player, this one, has the player tag. Make sure you do that. So any game object with the tag player enters this area, then go ahead and say stealth kill. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna add that transition over here and make a new state. So right click and add a new state, and there we go. So let's see if it's working or not. So if I come over here right behind this guy, there we go. Now we are in this state, which means it detects that the player is inside the kill zone. Cool. So now in here what we want to do is we want to check whether the player is pressing the stealth kill button or not. So we're gonna say get button, button down, and for you can use any button. You can go to edit, project settings, input, and there are all of these buttons. You can also make your own. That is what I'm gonna do. So increase this number with 1. In my case it's 30, so I'm gonna set it to 31. And as you can see, the last one just duplicates. You can call it anything. I will call it melee or melee attack, and this will be the button name. And then what the actual button will be, I'm gonna set it to E. All right, and this one will be E. Cool. E and E, and then copy the name. So when so the button name is E, the button name is melee, and the button actually is E. All right, so whenever we press the E button, that is called melee. Melee is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and check out whether the spellings are the same. Like yeah, with capital M, so it's case sensitive. Make sure the capital and small letters are the same ones, and when the player presses this button, then we're gonna go to stealth kill. So just kill. There we go. And I'm gonna copy this and paste this over here, and when the player exits, finish, no, come back, no, I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing right now, just a second. There we go. So when the trigger enter with the player tag, when the game object enters this area of the cube and it is a player, then come over here and get the input, and when that player get out of that trigger, so on trigger exit, we're gonna come out of here and get to this state. All right, so let me just go ahead and quickly play the game and show you guys what is happening and what I have done. So if I come over here, so as you can see, when I come in here, it asks me to press the E button, and when I come out of this area, it's gonna come back, and when I come in here and press E, we're gonna come in this state. So this is the state in which we have to do the animations. All right, but before I do anything, I want to add the colliders for this enemy, so I'm gonna go ahead and say capsule collider, decrease the radius and increase the height so that our player cannot collide with this guy. So that is okay. Cool. So now when we are in here, we want to go ahead and say set animator bool for the user owner, that is enemy, and the animator bool is called killed. So just copy this name, paste it in here and set it to true, and then copy and paste, and then specify the game object and select the player and drag that in, and then select the player and copy the name of that bool, so that is takedown, and then paste that in here. So both of these bools tell our players to do the animations. All right, so I already have done that. So taken down, and then do that animation. All right, kind of like this one. Cool. So let's see if it's working or not. Just simple as that, these two animations. Okay, I'm gonna bring this down and then select the enemy in order to see the FSM, this one. Okay, come over here and then come in here, press E, and then there we go, he does his animation, and nice, he died and all that. So you know, it looks pretty cool, right? The melee attack looks pretty cool, but there is still a little problem that we have to fix. Let me see if we have to fix it or not, or if there is a problem or not. Let me come over here and press, and if I am facing that direction like this, and then we are still in the kill zone, and if I press E, as you can see, they are doing their separate animations in different directions, and looks pretty stupid, right? So we have to fix that one too. In order to do that, yeah, that will be a little difficult, but not much. So what we have to do is we have to go to the enemy and say create an empty game object, and if it's empty we cannot see it. So in order to see it, we have to make some kind of a GUI on it. So just come in here and add a GUI, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place this somewhere over here, on which this is the position where our player should be standing when he's killing this enemy. So I think this looks good. I'm gonna call it kill position. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and say move towards, and I'm gonna make the player, which is called move towards the kill position, just like that. Max speed should be 10, finish distance should be 0.1. Alright, and then save it and then see if it's working or not, like if the player is moving towards this position or not. And I know it's not gonna move toward that position, I know it due to experience. So if I come over here, like over here, this is okay, let's come in here and make this cube a little bigger just for the testing purpose, and then drag the. So if I come over here, this is the position that the player should come, right? So if I press E, he's gonna do that animation there, but he's not coming over here. So that is pretty bad. So why isn't he coming? So this is because of the animator. So it's applied, it says apply root motion. Due to that, it's not able to move. So we also have to say set, no, it's called apply root motion. So set animator apply root motion to false and specify the game object to Carl. There we go. Alright, so save the game now, and you will be able to see that when we come over here, Carl will move towards there. Run over here and come over here and press E. Now we are out of range. Look, he just moved over there. Like, where is the kill position? It's over there, and Carl just moved to the kill position. There we go, right? So but we still have one thing to do, that is to make the enemy make the player look towards the enemy, and that is pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and say smooth look at, specify the game object to be the player because he has to look at the enemy. So drag and drop the enemy in there, make sure it's keep vertical, and speed should be 10. And then the last thing that you need to do is you need to set the player's FSM to false. So make sure you select the enemy and open up the FSM, and then make sure your FSM is locked. Alright, oops, locked, and then select the player and then drag and drop his FSM inside over here and say set property, and then enabled to be false, just like that. So let's see if it's working or not. I'm gonna go and select the enemy and then play the game. I have made it bigger so that we can see if the this is working or not. Let me just go ahead and run towards the enemy, like over here, and then if I press E, there we go, he looks at the enemy. So if I go ahead and make this cube a little smaller, just like that, and then if I play the game, everything should work quite nicely. So if I come from here and then I say come over here and say E, and there he is, he's dying. But as you can see now, I cannot move around. I am pressing the keys. Let me just make you hear it. I am not able to move around. Why? Because if I select the player, the animator controller is set to apply root motion is to false, and then the movement is also false. And then if I do that, he will be able to move around. So only these two are disabled due to that script. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna say wait for, I don't know, 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds, or just 3 seconds will be good, and then say finished and make a new state. And in there I'm gonna go ahead and select these two things, copy them, paste them in here, and then invert them. So set the apply root motion to true and also enable the FSM, and that is it, guys. That is it. Now if I play the game, everything should work nicely. I come over here and I say press E, bam, he hits him, and then he does that thing, and then he can move around just like that, and he can do crouching and all that good stuff that he wants to. Cool. So that is it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed my takedown animation kind of a thingy, like that one. And I love this. I think the video is lagging. I don't know why, because this game is pretty heavy. Look at these textures and all that reflections. So due to this, the game is lagging in the video. It's not lagging in my PC, but I don't know why it's lagging in the video. But in my game it's really smooth. Maybe in the video it's lagging, but it's really smooth in here, so I love this. Cool. So if you want to learn this or anything else, like if I show you my channel, come in here. So I have a whole lot of tutorial videos. Like I made a crouching system that we are just seeing, I made a cover system, I made sniper light X-ray vision, I made sniper light scope effect, I made sniper elite skull breaking system, I made a tutorial on how to download any 3D model from any game. This is from Sniper Elite 3, so if you want to download any 3D model from any game, do that. I made a camera collision system, I made my own game, I made a weapon shop, I made clothes changing and all these good stuff. I made GTA series, and there are 14 episodes on GTA series for Android. There's also GTA series for PC, and there are also 14 parts of them. And then there are top-down games, and look at this top-down game. Just check this out real quick. Look at this game. Isn't it cool? And you can learn how to make this game. And it's really cool and really easy to make. Yeah. So if you want to learn anything from here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in my next video. Till then, be cool.